How y'all doing? I'm Tobin. Today I found a spot alongside the McKenzie River where I'll be using two different homages, if you will, inspired by clones of Giorgio Armani's Acqua di Gio. I know this name, I know this word. And I have one from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements that has just come back. This is from the previous release, and that is Aqua DG. The other that I'm using for the aftershave and then the EDT is Dunshire from Stirling. This place is really overgrown. I assure you, there is a trail, but yeah. And so the one from Phoenix is more of an inspired by, and the one from Stirling is almost an exact clone, or it is an exact clone. Before I get too set up, I want to show you the spot that I've decided to shave at today, just because I think it's cool. It's set back here in the trees. I kind of found some odd stuff. I've said in previous videos, you never know what you're going to find when you're out in the wilderness in Oregon. And you may have noticed something a little odd already. I didn't do these. This was like this when I came here. Attached to string. To me, this looks like everyday grass. No, not 420 grass. JB lawn grass. And then over here, sorry if I moved fast, over here on these strings, I'm not sure exactly what these are. I'll show you what I think they are down below me. I think they're just these big giant weeds. Sorry, I was trying to slow down. It is Memorial Day, and there should be lots of boats on the river. I've already seen one pass by, and I hear some people coming down now. They're fly fishing. I see a guy throwing his fly right now. This is the McKenzie River. I can't tell you the amount of time I've spent playing, fishing, picnicking, doing so many things up and down the length of this river. Not to mention floating it, like those guys are doing there. Inner tubes to boats. It's always cold, so you gotta be careful. A lot of people underestimate it, and never seems to fail. We always lose a couple of people every year because hypothermia sets in. This river, it never gets much warmer than 38 degrees. Doesn't matter what time of year it is, it's almost always the same temperature, and that's cold. I'll get all set up and I'll see you in a minute. Well, like it's been doing all year, the sun has dipped behind the clouds, but that's okay. It shouldn't rain. If it does, oh well. It is Memorial Day 2022. I'm on the banks of the McKenzie River. Very private spot. I'll be standing right there. My setup. Today I am shaving with my two homages to Giorgio Armani's Acqua di Gio. And I have Phoenix here, my pre-shave from Phoenix. I'll be using the lather lid, a SilverFox knot from Bobby at Sawdust Creation Studios, Dunshire is Stirling's version, and it is an exact clone, and I'm wearing their EDT, shaving with my Schick Easy Rider, and this was to kick off a campaign of theirs. You can see these studs, or these bumps. It's supposed to make it harder for you to cut yourself. As long as I don't forget, I'm going to attach a promotional video that Schick had put out at the time, where those guys riding in a car doing a demolition derby, and those bumps that you see there underneath the blade are supposed to make it harder for you to cut yourself. I don't know about that, but I do know that the Type L is my favorite of all the Schick injectors.
I'm shaving in this demolition derby car to prove how hard it is to nickel cut yourself with this new razor, the Easy Rider from Schick. You see, these protective bumps, woo, along the guard bar, help to keep the blade from digging in. A safe, smooth shave. Right now you can get this Easy Rider razor free when you buy this special pack of Schick Super Chromium blades. It's a good deal.
Alright, welcome. The sun's trying to come back through. We'll see how it goes. I might have to adjust a little bit, but the sun was out here a minute ago when I set up. A second ago I forgot to share with you my scoop. I'm going to start going through my collection of guitar picks, but the way that I'm going to do them is just kind of because I'm retentive about such things. I like things, you know, to match for my shave of the day photos. They don't have to be an exact match. I just have to like the way they look. So today I have a very plain pick, not from a shave company at all. And then I forgot to Sean Selfer Shaves, who's the guy that has brought this T2, that giveaway that's going on right now, and then the Progress, which we'll be doing in a week or two. Same guy that sent me those, he sent me a sample of Barbado. I've never tried it before. Today I'll be using that after my shave, before I apply my balm. He has it in most or all of his shave of the day photos. I don't remember if Sean uses it every shave or not, but I know he uses it a lot. He speaks well of it. I was talking to him about it one day. He said he'd send that to me, and he had sent it to me, and then I got sick with COVID, and I didn't want to use it while I was sick, just because I wanted to experience it. Now that I'm feeling better, but I used it for the first time with you guys here today. Hopefully I use it right. I'm just going to use it like I would an aftershave. This is my go-to pre-shave. I am enjoying the pre-shave that I picked up from Stirling, which is very similar to this. It's a glycerin base pre-shave, lather booster, whatever you want to call it. Real quick about my store. Got a whole bunch of stuff that isn't listed. Now that, you know, the official pandemic is over, or at least for now, I have a lot more time on my hands. Or a lot less time on my hands, and so with that, it's been very difficult for me to have time to get things listed on eBay. So it's kind of, you know, getting back to the way things were before the pandemic. Before the pandemic, I didn't do eBay or anything like that because I didn't have the time. Wearing one of my favorite Star Wars shirts. Han Solo there. Watched the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan. That was really good. If you're a Star Wars fan, I highly recommend it. It was really cool to see that they brought the Inquisitors to life. The Inquisitors were in the TV series Rebels, one of my favorite Star Wars stories ever. And for me, that was the first time I'd ever seen the Inquisitors. I think that's kind of when they introduced them. I might be wrong. Probably was in a comic or something. But so far, the Inquisitors have been perfect to the 4 seasons of Rebels. I hope you guys have enjoyed your holiday weekend. Give me 2 seconds. I need a bigger stool. No, not for my fat ass, but for my table. I got a skinny rear end, so I don't need a bigger stool for that. I do need one though for a bigger table. That's probably definitely a whole lot more than enough, especially with this pre-shave. I don't use this soap nearly enough. Whenever I think anything's become unobtainium, and I don't have a lot of it, I tend to just sit on it and nurse on it, and that's what I've done with the Aqua DG set from Phoenix. Now that it's back for the summer, I will definitely pick up more. Years ago, I received Armani's Aqua DG as Christmas gift for Father's Day. It was the smaller bottle, the 1.7, and I need to pick up another bottle of it. But I fell in love with it immediately, and it's one of those fragrances that just because of the brand, I've never bought anything from Armani before. I'm not really a Armani guy, if you will, if you understand, if that makes sense. But I loved it immediately. And I think it was about 2018 that I first discovered Dunshire, which is Rod and Mandy's version, and it is identical. The top notes, heart and bottom, and that's bergamot, neroli, and green tangerine. So off the top you get a citrus boom, a lot of citrus off the top. The heart, you go more into a marine-ish, at least that's what they call it. There's jasmine, rock rose, and rosemary. Then I got too much water in this, but that's alright. I should have got my brush a little bit more. It'll do alright once it hits this pre-shave. Someone walking by over here to my right, looks like a fisherman looking for a spot to cast a line. And please check me out. Imagine the people that think I'm out of my mind. And I am. You know that. I know that. Well, I don't know what you're laughing about though. You're out of your freaking mind too. So the bass notes rather, Armani calls it a fruity persimmon. And I looked it up. There's 2 different types. I'll get into that in a second. And then the other bottom note is patchouli. And I had to look a couple of these up. Neroli, I've looked up before, but I couldn't quite remember. And it's another citrus fragrance. And so that's why you got such a heavy citrus top, is because you have the 3 different citruses, the bergamot, the green tangerine, and the neroli. Where Phoenix's version differs, and to be honest, once again, Doug and Fran have nailed it. They've taken all the notes and basically jumbled them. If I remember correctly, and I'm going to put it right up here, the notes for Phoenix, or maybe right over here. But what they've done is they just basically reversed the order and changed it up. So if I remember right, the citrus is in the heart. Don't quote me. When I smell the soap, I get more of the earthy marine notes. It's like a cedary, but with the EDT, with the EDT, by Armani and by Rod and Mandy, that's all up front. Sorry, I kind of lost my concentration. I had a guy walking up here. A lot of fish in this river, like I was saying in one of my, I think it was my last video. I had to look a couple of these up. Rock Rose, I'd heard it before, but I couldn't quite remember what the fragrance was. If you've seen my previous videos, you might recall a video where I talked about the history of labdanum. And labdanum comes from rock rose. Rock rose is the flower, and labdanum is this resinous, like oil secretion. It's not nectar, I don't think. It's nothing like that. It's different that comes out of it. And in one of my previous videos, I talked about how, I forget when it was. I want to say it's like 1,000 years ago or something. Like back in biblical times, a couple thousand years ago even. I forget the exact timeline. But the way that they collected it before the labdanum was off of their goats or off their sheep. And the sheep would walk through the fields of black rose, and then they'd comb the herd, and as they combed it, they would get that secretion, those oils from the black rose, and then that's how they collected the labdanum to do their fragrances. The permicin or persimmon is a fruit. Never heard of it before. Never paid any attention to it until I was doing the soap's already drying out on me. I get so carried away with talking, I don't pay attention to it. A second ago it was so wet. It's one thing with these glycerin boosters. So the persimmon, I looked it up, and if you guys ever heard of one, if you ever ate one, I'd love to hear your opinion of it. There's two different varieties from what I read. There's a bitter and a sweet. It originates in China. But now, like everything else, it's grown all over the place. I've never tried one. From what I read though, the best comparison is an apricot when it comes to flavor. If you guys know anything about it, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Yeah, I definitely need a bigger table. Made a mess. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I'll probably say it again some other time. If you've never shaved outdoors, it's amazing in every way. I'm not complaining, but it's a different animal. Traditionally, when I travel, I do a lot of shave sticks, which is why I've made so many. One of these days I need to dedicate myself to going through all the ones I've made and the ones I've actually purchased. Maybe I'll do, I bought that one. I have a new empty container that I picked up a month or two ago that I still haven't turned into a soap. It's still empty, is what it is. I've been wanting to do a video of how I do it. Not like I do it anyway really different or anything. It's just something for my one playlist that I've created. Today is Memorial Day. I won't go and get political on you guys, but as you probably noticed, I love my country. We got a whole bunch of hats and shirts, and raised my children to shake the hand of a veteran, shake the hand of men and women in service. There's been a few different times that our daughter, especially because she's so damn cute and still is, that she would just blow officers away when she'd walk up to them and thank them. And at first you gotta encourage them to do it, and they're reluctant when they're first little and learning to do it. But then they get to a point where they actually enjoy it. And that's when, for me as a father, is really amazing. If I remember, I'll attach a photo of our daughter at Autzen Stadium, which is where my Oregon Ducks play football. And the looks on some of the officers' faces as Emily, that's my daughter, our daughter, walks up and starts thanking them out of nowhere. So for those who don't know, the first Memorial Day was celebrated May 1st, 1865. Fucking birds get the shit out of me. Bastard. Got my adrenaline pumping. Can't wait to watch that. Meanie. The hell was I saying? 1865, May 1st. But that was called Declaration Day. Still the same holiday, okay? It's just kind of gonna transform a little bit over the years. So, May 1st, 1865. I'm just gonna kind of paraphrase the holiday. May 1st, 1865 was the first one, called Declaration Day. And that was directly tied to the Civil War. A few years later, it would become Decoration Day. Still the same holiday, different name. In 1971, an act of Congress made it an official federal holiday, and they officially named it Memorial Day. People had started calling it Memorial Day previous to that, but Memorial Day, as we know it, 1971. From what I've seen, a lot of people confuse Veterans Day and Memorial Day. Traditionally, and the way I do it, you know, the way you observe today is all about you. If you want to, you know, get drunk and raise hell, that's your right. But Veterans Day is the day to thank men and women in service, or that were in service, for their service. Memorial Day, memorial, is when we take time to reflect upon the ones who gave all. Veterans Day is for the ones who gave some. Memorial Day is for the ones who gave all. So today is all about the dead and honoring them, which is why today so many Americans take flags to their grave. Our family over the years has taken flowers and other things to different graves of non-service members. But traditionally the holiday is about people who died in service. I am an America First kind of guy. Let me explain it this way without going into politics. America is my home. Oregon is my home. Eugene, Springfield is my home. The house that I live in is my home. For me, personally, home is where the heart is. My house is not home. I've had many houses, but home has always been the same place. That makes sense? It does to me. And where I tied in with my country is we've been in our current house, home, for a little over 5 years. My first full day there was actually my 40th birthday. Our first night sleeping there was my 40th birthday. We've been over there just over 5 years now. The neighbor to the left of us and the neighbor to the right of us are some of the best people I could ever ask to know and without a doubt, the best damn neighbors you could ever ask for. I don't care who you are. Especially when you're a guy like me who's raising a family. Now, as much as I love them, we talk, you know, like neighbors do. I know their names, you know, all kinds of stuff. They watch over our house when we leave. We watch over their house, all that jazz. Our neighbor even has chickens and we get chickens from them and all the stuff that neighbors do. But I will never put my neighbor's house before my own house. The needs of my wife and children and the needs of that house, my home, come before my neighbor's home. Now, once I've taken care of my house and my home, if my neighbor has a need, I'm happy to meet that need. But my house, my home, comes first. It's not selfish. It's the way things are. And in my opinion, that's the way things should be. Extend that to Oregon, right? Outside of Eugene, Springfield. Extend that to Oregon. I'm an Oregonian first, and then I'm an American. My first loyalty will be to my house, to my city and county, my state, and my country. When America has everything that it needs, I don't mind letting the Canadians borrow some eggs, okay? I know they're gonna let me borrow some maple syrup, right? So for me, America, Canada and America. Do you know that Canada and America are the only two countries in the known world, in the known history of man, that have never been at war with one another? That every other known nation has at one time or another been in a military conflict with its neighbor. And it's true with us in Mexico. It's true with every country in South America, Asia, Europe. It's true everywhere, except the only exception is America and Canada. Do some cleanups here. I love Canada. I've been to 5 provinces in Canada. There was a time that British Columbia and Victoria were like a second home. I'd go up there for a few weeks every year. I got family in northern Seattle and northern Washington. Some are down around Seattle, but Bellingham, Everett, Covington, Kent, blah, blah, blah. So as much as I like Canada, America comes before Canada. And Canadians should put Canada before America. I wouldn't want my neighbor on our street, Jason and Jackie is one of them, Mark is the name of the other fella. I wouldn't want them putting their house before mine. And they came over and they're like, hey Tobin, you know you're having trouble paying the mortgage this month. We can't pay our mortgage either, but here, we're gonna give you $1,000 so that you can pay your mortgage this month. And we're gonna lose our house, but you know, Tobin, we really want you to, you know, have a house. What the hell do you think I'd say? Get out of here. Hey, I don't want your damn money. Get out of here. You go take care of your house. You go take care of your family. Thank you. But you got needs of your own. Now, if they just won the lottery, you know, they got money coming out their nose, changes everything. But I would not want my neighbors putting my house and my family before their own. I wouldn't let them. I wouldn't. Damn fine shave. Hope you enjoyed another rambling, another rant, another chit chat. Give me a second to grab my towel, my dish towel. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me. And maybe you put your neighbor in their house before your own, and that might be why you're still single, or why your wife left you. Because you don't got your priorities straight. That's the way I see it. I don't mean to be judgy or anything like that, but for me, you ain't got your priorities straight if you're putting your neighbor before your family. Just the way I am, I guess. And I think maybe a lot of people, I get the impression, have lost the idea of that, because there's a lot of this country, a lot of people in this country who don't think we should put America first. Good friend Fred, he lives in Norway. I would hope that Fred would put Norway before any other country. I love Fred. I love the Norwegians. My grandmother was Norwegian. She spoke Norwegian all the time. She teased me in Norwegian. But there's no way in hell that even her, as an immigrant, would put Norway before America. She's passed on to the other side, but Barbado, Sean, thank you. Once again, I hope it's all coherent. Oh yeah, it makes sense. Sometimes I'm afraid when I get to rambling in front of this camera that I might not be making sense. So there's almost no fragrance. I want to say it's like almost it's kind of hard to tell with the citrus that I've been doing with the clones there. Sorry, I was trying to look to see if I had written down any notes for this. I looked it up like a week ago, but I think it's what I got here is the fragrance free. I'm liking that feedback though. Now I got a little carried away talking, not paying attention. Damn fine shave though. Type L is definitely my favorite. I've got 3 of them. The other one that I use a lot is my stick shift. I really like that one too. It's freaking awesome. If you've never seen the movie Easy Rider, I do recommend it. It stars Peter Fonda, Jack Nicholson, and Dennis Hopper. Jack Nicholson's kind of a co-star figure, but it's cool. It's a good movie. If you've never seen it, it's worth a watch. It's not like gonna blow you away or anything, but if you've never tried any, I have the full sets of both. Well, not the full set with Aqua DG by Phoenix. I need to pick up the Star Jelly, and I'm going to get the solid, and I'm going to get the EDP. I've never had those. With Dunshire, I have the balm, the splash, and as you saw, the EDT, and I have the soap. And if you like the real thing by Armani, Giorgio Armani's Aqua di Gio, I can't recommend it enough. They're EDTs. They're such a good buy. You get 50 milliliters for less than $25. I have 10 or 12 EDTs from Rod and Mandy, and all of them have great projection, great sillage, and considering that they're an EDT and not a P or a parfum, they last most of the day, if not all the day, depending on which one. This DiGio is a little bit of a lighter fragrance, but I can't recommend their EDTs enough. They have a couple homage clones that aren't as good as I'd hoped for, but this one here, like Skarn, is perfect. And I'm a huge fan of the real thing. Love it. My wife loves it. My daughter loves it. If you love Phoenix Artisan accoutrements and scent notes sound good to you, you're gonna love this too. I actually prefer the way that Doug and Fran have put this together. I think I started talking about that earlier before I peed my pants. Can't remember how much I talked on it though, but the splash, I haven't tried the EDP yet, but I know the EDP is going to be just like the splash. I prefer Phoenix's splash over the real thing. I I just like the way it's layered. And like I said, I'll put that up there. But boom, maybe I'll put them right here side by side. I thank you all for tuning in. No matter how you celebrate Memorial Day, hope you had a good weekend. I don't return to work till Wednesday, so I get to sleep in again tomorrow. Kind of, sort of. Get to my daughter's school. Until next time, thank you. Take care of yourself. And be well.